How about we try to tackle the subject of comping, which is one that's asked about a lot by keyboard players, piano players.
Okay. I found I had forgotten about this.
Oh, yeah.
I did spend some work years ago writing down stuff, and got as far as this book, which we published ourselves. It's called A Work in Progress. It actually is transposed. Didn't we transpose into, was the final thing called A Musician's Hat, or was this the final thing?
That
was the final.
This was the final thing, right? It started from me writing up, like, I thought, well, let me write down how I do things. Just my hat, as a musician. Like, how do I do things as a musician? Because people ask me questions, and so I wrote it down. And that's what this is. And it's got, you can get one of these. Do we have copies of these?
Yeah, they want on the chat roll, they can ask Dan, and Dan will let them know.
But you see, it's got personal policies as a musician, playing the piano, and one chapter is a whole chapter devoted to comping.
Yeah.
And then there's making time, composing, and those are the chapters. But in terms of comping, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. So I'll just read a few of them, and then me and Elio can play around with showing comping, right? So does it make any sense for me to hold this up to a camera, or should I just read it?
Just read it if
yeah,
it's better.
The subtitle of comping of this chapter is Improvising on an Accompaniment. Improvising an accompaniment.
Ah.
That's what comping is. It's improvising an accompaniment.
Do you want me to hold it up?
Huh? You want? Does that work?
Just have them read.
I can face this way.
Okay, you can read it too.
So I'm just gonna. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but there's parts to it. Well, the first part is all is a concept that all accompaniments or all comps make melodies. All comps make melodies, which means that if there's a trumpet player playing a solo or a singer singing or whatever it is, and you want to put a background to it, then do it by making a melody. Like if I would, let's take the same songs we've been doing. I'm going to comp to some imaginary soloist on Waltz for Debbie. Okay. First, I'll play a little bit of the melody, and then I'll give it to that soloist in the sky. So forth. So I just try to keep a little melody going through it. Use a melody. That's one idea. Then there's a part, I don't have to show it to the camera. I'm not going to read it. The other one is think like an orchestra. is another idea. So let's take the same thing. I'm going to accompany that guy up in the sky there. Well, let me get my orchestra together. Okay, here's some brass. Here's some flutes. And then let's see. We could do like single line comping. I wasn't doing that real good for you. Or okay, here's a brass section. Right? Or here's a flute section. Right? Or here's a string section. Low strings. Anyway, try that as a concept. You can use a drum too. I don't know if that communicates, but that's what I was thinking. Okay, think like an orchestra. Use space and drop in small things. I think I'm going to need Elio now. The guy in the air is not providing enough for me.
I liked him, actually.
Elio Villafranca, thanks. Thanks, Elio. So let's see how to do this. I'd like you to play a melody.
Okay.
Do you mind using the Rhodes?
No, I don't mind.
There's the volume there.
Okay.
And let's see. Let's pick a tune that we're cleared on. What?
How about Windows? Your own Windows.
Oh, Windows.
Yeah.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Well. That's...
Really? I forgot that tune. That's the original key.
That's the original key.
Yeah. But I want you to play single line.
Okay, yeah.
Single line. I'm going to accompany you, and I suggest start up an octave.
Okay.
Start up.
Okay.
Up there. Like up an octave.
Okay, here.
Yeah.
So do it on B minor.
We better do another tune.
Okay, we better do another tune.
Let's see. I had some tunes written down. Just a minute. Here it is. Let's see. Oh well, you know, we could do. Oh, you say we could try Green Dolphin Street? You know,
Yeah.
Green Dolphin Street in E flat.
E flat, yeah.
Okay. Let's establish the tune first. Okay, you got it, Elliot. Okay, so now let's start at the top of. So I want to demonstrate one thing at a time. This is, we're down at use space and drop in small things. So we keep a groove going. I'm just going to play sparsely, right? Right up at the top. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. Cool. Now let's try another one. Oh yeah, all right. So here's another idea. These are a whole bunch of ideas, just things that you can do as a comp. This one is use repetitive phrases. Let's see what I'm trying to read what I said. Yeah, repetitive phrases. So I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, top again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I use some repetitive phrases at the beginning. Let's keep going. Oh, take a phrase from the soloist. This is another trick.
Okay.
Take a phrase from the soloist. Top again. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Okay, I took a few phrases, not every one, but you were playing the melody. Okay, let's see, what's this? Oh, this is kind of interesting. There are 3 kinds of comps. You could say, I could say, I did say. A comp could be an acknowledgement. Would be the finishes a soloist's statement, right? And then a comp could be, a comp as an answer would say something back from a bit that the soloist just said, making it sound like the answer to the soloist's question. It's like the answer to a question. That's similar, though. Any type of response to the soloist's statement, such as a disagreement, an encouragement, a question, that's too complicated.
But I'm interested in the disagreement.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you could do something. Okay, let's take up a response as a disagreement. Now we'll start the top again, but leave the melody and blow a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to find a place to disagree.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's basically, you know, being like cheeky about it.
But I get it.
But the thing of comp is an acknowledgement that finishes a statement. Now, in order to really show that well, you have to leave me some spaces to be
Okay.
able to acknowledge what you say.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. That's great. That's great. Try it one more time, and then just make a statement, and then just leave some space.
Okay.
And then then I'll acknowledge that, and then you make another statement, and I'll acknowledge that. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just sing a line. You're acknowledging me. I tell you what, I'll make a statement, and you acknowledge me. Try
Okay.
that, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. No, but acknowledge me with a chord.
At the chord you.
Yeah, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, man.
It's challenging.
Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, there we go, thank you. Okay, so there's a couple of ideas on comping. Oh, my last chapter here says, make the soloist sound good.
Ah, right.
So that's another way of comping. Or actually, that should be in there all the time, I think. Is there
Yeah, a
another
couple of
question?
audience questions, internet viewers here.
Okay.
From Jay, can you give some simple tips for adding variation to left-hand comping? I usually end up playing one static chord position and would like to add more movement and variation.
Oh, okay. Well, like if you were standing right here right now, what's
Jay.
Jay, from where? Do we know? Okay.
Jay's
If you were standing
anonymous.
here right now, I would ask you to sit at the piano and play whatever you want to play using more variation. That's what I would ask you to do. Because for me to give you tips about variation, I say I don't know where you're starting from. So in truth, the best advice I can give you is just really try to make some variation. Just change things around, make a different sound, use a different voicing, use a different rhythm. Just consciously make some variation. Now, I don't mean to throw the idea off, but I think that's all I can offer. I'm not sure how to demonstrate a variation on what you're accompanying. Let me try and play
He was
something.
talking about his left hand too.
Yeah,
Chick.
the left hand, I understand. Let me see. Right. Okay, so watch my left hand. Now I change it. But see, you might not be playing that tune. But if I was accompanying someone, they would. Okay, so really, you have the concept. See, a lot of the times I find that the answer to a person's question is right inside the question itself, because that's what was asked, which was to vary the left hand. So, tell me if you have some success with just that simple direction. Okay. Thanks for writing in. I mean, for tuning in.
Well, when we asked about the subject of comping, we had a number of questions about comping behind singers.
Yeah.
And from singing pianists. Here's one from George Glover, a pianist from San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So, George?
George. Right, George.
George.
Is there a different approach to comping when backing a vocalist versus an instrumental melody or solo? If so, could you demonstrate a few ideas?
You know, I don't think so. I think every situation that you find yourself in, either with a singer or a flute player or a band or whatever, is going to be that situation, and whatever that situation calls for is what will be the appropriate thing to do. I mean, there's so much variability there. You have even within singers. If you play for this singer and you play for that singer, they're two different singers. So they'll probably respond to two different kinds of accompaniment. I don't, anybody sing here? I wouldn't foist my voice on you.
Okay.
But let's see, accompaniment. Well, yeah, I don't have I don't know how to demonstrate that right
That's
now.
understandable.
Actually,
That's
but
understandable.
my quick cheap advice is just assess whatever the situation is, whatever that particular singer or that instrumentalist. But there's no different rules for sure. Like for instance, I'll tell you a kind of a cool thing I think. I worked for a year and a half. I played in the trio backing up the great Sarah Vaughan. I was honored to do that. And I learned so much working with Sarah. Now, Sarah Vaughan was a big star. She wasn't a diva though. She hung out with the musicians and she was a down-to-earth lady. And she helped me out a lot. So playing for Sarah, she used to encourage me to kind of be creative and wild, actually. She liked when I reharmonized and did different rhythmic things, and she liked it. Now, I've worked with other singers who will remain nameless, who didn't respond to such a free approach to accompaniment. And so, so I would have to, you know, in order to provide a comfortable space for the singer, I would have to try to find what made them comfortable. So there's that variation in what you would like to, how you would like to do it, and what the singer would like, or instrumentalist. So again, it's a matter of finding a rapport with the musicians that you work with. Okay.
Cool. Well, we're going to wrap this subject up with an interesting question from Didier in France. Didier.
Didier.
Yeah.
Didier.
Chick did a performance. What's? Thought I heard something. Okay. Chick did a performance with Dave Grohl at the Grammy Awards some years ago. He did a jazz pure comping. Would be curious if it was a on-the-go jam or if Chick took this direction on purpose. Do you remember this performance?
Yeah, I remember the
with the Foo Fighters.
Yeah, with the Foo Fighters. But what did I do?
And he said that you used a pure jazz comping.
Did I?
All
Wow.
right. Well, anyway, he was curious whether it was just you did it on the fly or it was something you thought about to like, I'm going to use jazz comping, you know?
No, I didn't think about it in those terms, actually. Actually, when I got together with Grohl and the guys in the Foo Fighters, it turns out they were all like fusion and jazz fans. And they knew all about jazz music. Dave did, the drummer especially did. And we had a blast rehearsing and jamming together. So I didn't think about style so much. What I did need to practice, though, was my solo was in 7/4, and it was a vamp, and the drummer was pretty loose with it, and so I had to practice that. That's what I had to practice, my 7/4. I'm not well grooved there. You got to show me about that sometime, Elio. How you negotiate writing and playing in 7 and in 5 and in 11.5 and so forth like that. So, yeah, that's basically the story on that.
Cool.